Alright, a new video, another top 5, this time about the greatest martial artist in the world. Let's do this! Jonathan Dwight Jones is the UFC's light heavyweight champion and holds many UFC records, including the most title defenses, most wins, longest win streak, and most submission victories. Jones has been virtually unstoppable since he burst on the scene. He has never been stopped. The only thing to defeat him is the 12-6 elbow rule against Matt Hamill. Before the fight against Reyes, I did a poll and asked who is the male GOAT, and Jon Jones won convincingly. Next to his legendary status, Jones has been involved in several controversies. He was arrested on a felony hit-and-run charges and tested positive for banned substances. This video though focuses on defensive skills. To showcase his brilliant defensive skills, we can just go to Jon's last fight against Dominic Reyes. Without going into the judges' scorecards, the fight itself was simply incredible. Martial arts at its highest level. If you haven't seen it, definitely check out the full fight on UFC Fight Pass. For now, enjoy the clip where you can see his insane defensive skills while being under huge pressure from Reyes.
Oh my goodness. Jones retreats. He's on it. Keeping the pressure is Reyes. Jones staying safe. Keeping the head moving. Not too many big shots landed yet.
Now let's check the same clip without commentary in slow motion as Luke Thomas talks through the motion.
Boom, chasing him. No moment to hide. Misses with the uppercut. Pay attention to how good Jon's defense is here. It's just excellent defense, man. Uppercut misses. Uppercut misses. Straight misses. Jab misses. Jab kind of intersects with the shoulder. Left misses. Right misses, left misses, uppercut misses, straight misses. Still on him. Misses. Kind of lands, but it's hard to tell. A little bit maybe there. Uppercut doesn't really hit and he's gone. Dude, Jon Jones is hard to hurt, man. Very hard to hurt, right? Everyone always talks about Jon Jones's offense. To me, his offense is kind of deteriorating a little bit, especially in the wrestling game. His defense is what keeps him in these. His defense is just lights out, airtight, man. Really good.
When talking about Jon's defense, you have to talk about his reach. He uses his reach so well that most of the time his opponents can't even touch him. So let's dive into the finer details of his reach. None of that physicality would matter were it not for the skills to effectively use it. Jones is a classic outside fighter. Muhammad Ali was an outside fighter. So too were Floyd Mayweather and George St. Pierre. Fighters of this type want to stick their opponent on the end of their reach. They use long strikes, jabs, crosses, and various kinds of round, front and side kicks to dictate the distance at which the fight takes place. Clean circular movement and tight footwork are essential to stay away from the fence, where they can't use their long strikes or set their preferred distance. Imagine a series of half circles around the fighter. In the closest ring, the fighters are touching. This is the clinch. The next layer outside would be the pocket, the distance where each fighter can land punches without having to move in or out. The final chunk of distance is long range, and this is where outside fighters thrive. Each of these rings could be broken down into more finely graded layers, but these are the three basic ranges. Jon Jones, like nearly all fighters who prefer long range, wants to avoid the pocket. When looking at his most competitive fights, the opponents had success when they are fighting in the pocket. That doesn't mean that Jones is helpless there. Jones has a nasty arsenal of elbows at his disposal in this range. Exchanges are dangerous, though, and the risk of eating a knockout shot in the pocket is always present. While they sometimes serve a tactical purpose, the pocket isn't an outside specialty's forte, and fighters of this type generally prefer to avoid it whenever possible. Jones is an extreme example. His arms and legs are so long that it's difficult for an opponent even to touch him at long range. And his foe's long range is more or less Jones's pocket. Except of course when Jon is fighting fighters that has a similar reach. What makes Jones special, however, is how good he is at opposing those heights and reach advantages on his opponents through his footwork, timing, and especially his strike selection. Kicks are his bread and butter, and Jones throws a variety at a rapid pace. Side and oblique kicks to the thigh are his longest range weapon. He rarely targets the legs, preferring to hit the head and body. If all of that weren't enough, Jones has grown increasingly proficient with his jab from both stances. He excels at sticking his jab in the opponent's face as he backpedals and pivots. As good as he is at long distance, he's even better when he has his hands on his opponent. Slick thrips and throws combined with double leg shots, skillful enough to take down a two-time Olympian. And even leaving aside the takedowns, there is still the matter of Jones's vicious elbows, knees and short punches in the clinch. Nobody, not even an exceptional clinch fighter like Cormier, can beat him inside. This forces opponents to maintain a bit of distance. The pocket is where Jones is weakest, but consider how hard it is to maintain that small slice of range for minutes at a time without letting Jon grab a hold of a limb or shoot in on a takedown. If the opponent strays too far outside, Jones has a variety of tools to forcing his opponent to stay there. Jabs and kicks stick his opponents off the end of his ridiculous reach, and his footwork keeps him off the fence and in open space. You saw in the clip against Reyes how great Jon's head movement is. In the next clip, he drills some head movements with his former Muay Thai trainer Phil Nurse. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, like the video, it helps out a lot. I'm just a fan of the sport who likes to share his passion. Also a fan of MMA that subscribe for more coming content. Chalas!